sorry, one
Can you
one
please?
second.
Subboor.
I want you to come in for this point. We're still speaking to Ben, right? So look, I just want to clarify something. Like Shabir said, you're just asking questions like a machine gun approach, hoping you'll find some hole, some little thing that you can maybe make something out of. I just want to state something. So the Muslim belief is that God created everything. God existed when nothing existed. He is the first, he is the last. However, from an atheistic viewpoint, you have to remember you're in the same philosophical problem the theist is, except the theist has a way of explaining the entire world. Their epistemic cage is far wider than an atheistic cage, and the constraint of an atheistic cage is something that you can never get out of. It is literally a catch-22. So what I want you to keep in mind is that you're coming and you're asking questions like there are problems with the theistic view, when the atheistic toolbox is empty. There are epistemic tools which are missing. So even if you try and say, well, what about this and what about that and what about this and what about that, hoping to muddy the waters, overall in terms of your paradigm is found wanting. For example, I'll just give you a very simple example. You started off speaking about love before you changed the topic. And when you were speaking about love, I showed how your concept of love makes zero sense, because from an evolutionary perspective, love is purely an arbitrary value that we hold on to. And it's no more valuable than hatred and anger and any of these types of behaviors and values. And the other thing to keep in mind is, when we're speaking about existence and we use, say, the cosmological argument or the contingency argument or any of these first principle sort of arguments, the atheist is stuck in the same position, which is they're trying to explain why something exists rather than nothing. And the difference is, with the theistic worldview, we've given a sufficient answer, but from an atheistic worldview, you're literally stuck in a situation where you have to try and explain why anything exists without referring to a higher being, and hence you're left with a massive gap. And that gap is so large and so hard to fill that any of these tiny things that you're trying to pick up here to try and show that you've won something are basically meaningless, because you've got a massive void in your epistemic worldview. So I just want you to realize there's no point trying to muddy the waters with these little points you're trying to win on. Let's stick to the bigger picture. Give an explanation.
Bigger picture?
Give us. No, I'm going to give it to you, but stick on the topic. If you go off topic, I'm going to bring you back to the topic.
Okay.
Give us an explanation, and I'm going to give you the next couple of minutes. Give us an explanation how you can get something from nothing.